So two steps equations continued. So example 1. There's 35 kids that need to get transported for the school field trip. 5 kids will be transported by their own parents. If you have vans that hold 6 kids each, how many vans will you need? So let's go ahead and use the equation below to solve. So we have, 6 kids can fit into each van, so we need to figure out how many vans we need. So that's what V stands for. And then we know that 5 of the kids, will get their own transportation. And there's 35 kids total. So in order to solve, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, is just get rid of the 5 kids that don't need to be transported. So if we look at our equation, so we're going to go ahead and subtract 5 on each side. It gets rid of it on the left-hand side, so that becomes 0. We can just bring down the 6V. And then 35 minus 5. So there's only 30 kids that we need to deal with. That's what it looks like. So now we need to go ahead and look. So we see that we have 6V is equal to 30 now. We need to get V by itself because we need to figure out how many vans we need, the number. So what we do is we're going to go ahead and divide by 6 on both sides. This just becomes 1, So V then is equal to 30 divided by 6, which is equal to 5. So we need 5 vans. So that makes sense. We have 5. If we go back, 6, and then we're going to substitute in the 5. So we have 5 vans, and then 5 kids get their own transportation. We need to make sure that's equal to 35. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 5. Then 30 plus 5 is 35, and that's equal to 35. So this checks out. Let's look at the next example. So example 2, we're going to use the equation below to solve. We have 25 is equal to 4L plus 45. So what's our first step? Well, we need to get L by itself. So what we do is we're going to go ahead and subtract on both sides because we're always going to go ahead and add or subtract first before we go ahead and start multiplying or dividing. So we get rid of it on the right-hand side. So we have just 4L, plus 0. So we don't even need to include the 0, but I just want to make sure that we zero this out. And so that's why we picked 45. And now we go to the left-hand side. So 25 minus 45. Well, if we think about it, 25, well, if we have 45 could be broken down into 25 and 20, So 25 minus 25, that's 0, but we still have a 20 negative left, So that's negative 20. Another way we could have done it, is just gone like this. 5 minus 5, 0, 4 minus 2 is 2. But we're going to keep the negative sign, so that's negative. So we have negative 20 is equal to 4L. And so how we get L by itself is we go ahead and divide by 4 on both sides. This becomes 1. Now we have negative 20 divided by 4, which is equal to negative 5. So L is equal to negative 5. So notice we can have negative variables, that they're going to equal like a negative value for these variables. And if we were to go back, so 25 is equal to 4L, plus 45. So 25 stays the same, 4L, so that's negative 5. So 4 times negative 5 plus 45. If we go ahead and look at this, we have 25. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 plus 45. Well, 45 minus 20, because that's what it looks like, If you just move it around, that's equal to 25. And so this checks out. We got the right answer. And so this right here is how we can check our answer. So feel free to always check your answers if you're unsure if you got the right answer.